What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 89. We're starting today's just looking at fixed February. As you can see, 4 games in the league. Udinese away, Genoa are at home, into Milan in a potential title decider at the San Siro, and then following on with Roma at home as well. It's also a cup game as well. Obviously, as we know, we're through to the semi-finals. The first leg of the Coppa Italia against Fiorentina. Got it wrong as well. I said the first leg was away in Tuscany. It's not. It's at the San Siro, so huge chance there to potentially get a big first leg win to take back to Florence. Still for the first game of today's episode, Udinese away from home on the back of our win against Atalanta. 5 points behind Inter Milan, who lead the way right now. And I've said it, if we're going to catch them in games like these, we cannot afford slip-ups. 11 minutes in, this was a great passage of play. I love those end-to-end highlights. They're really, really cool, where you almost concede on one end, then go on the counter and score on the other. Udinese hitting the post, played a really quick and efficient lightning counter-attack, got up the other end, and Moise Kean gets another. And I know I keep talking about it, I know I sound like a broken record, but EA, seriously, look at his goal to game ratio. That's his 13th in 23 games. He's averaging over 1 goal every 2 matches. How on earth is this guy in excellent form, in the prime of his career right now, in the mid-20s, enjoying his football on the left wing, not able to become one for another 7 years? It makes absolutely no sense. Still, 26 minutes in, almost doubled our lead. Roberto off the crossbar as it was still 1-0. Really, despite the early scare from Udinese, we had a far better team. Played some good football as well. 8 minutes to go, still leading by 1. Knocking the ball around quite nicely. Fernandez into the feet of Duarte. Holds the ball up. Quick little 1-2. There's Getson down the right hand side. Offloads to Timmermans, and the Belgian slots it into the bottom corner for our second of the game. You're talking about players playing in new positions. Getson Fernandez this year. Haven't mentioned his transition that much from CM to right back / right wing back, but he's been really good, primarily on the defensive end, but an assist there as Timmermans makes it 2. He's also been very effective learning a new position, and you know me, man, I love changing players and transitioning them from one role to another. Getson Fernandez, cameras on him, man of the match display here away against Udinese. His transition from CM to right wing back is seamless, and again, I really wish I could understand why it's taking him so long. Maybe not quite as long as Moise, but even so, why it's taking so long for him to learn a new position when he's absolutely excelling in it. So 2 to the final score. We keep the pressure on Inter Milan heading into that game there. Obviously, as we know, it's going to take a lot if we are going to catch them, and if we are to get ahead of them, then stay ahead of them. We've been chipping away at that lead. We've been chipping away at that deficit gradually, and I love it when you're watching like a basketball game, for example. And of course, they're quite high-scoring games. Say a team is down by like 20, you'll often hear the coach say something like 1 possession at a time. Get a stop, score on the other end, and then cut the lead gradually. You can't do it all in one chunk. You can't do that. If you just do it gradually. Let's get it down from 20 to 15, then let's get it down from 15 to 10, then let's get down from 10 to 5. Inter Milan had a massive lead on us at the start of the season. This great unbeaten stretch has seen us really put the pressure on Simone Inzaghi's side, and we're almost in touching distance of catching them. Still for the second game of today's episode, super excited for this one. It was indeed the Coppa Italia semi-final first leg, whilst of course we'd love to catch Inter Milan and win the Serie A title in our debut year. I've talked about it. As long as we win 1 trophy this season, that'll do me just fine, even if the board want a treble. And I've said the Coppa Italia is most likely our most winnable competition. So taking on Fiorentina in mid-table this season, the lads from Tuscany coming to take, so we take lead early through Callum Hudson-Odoi, but Fiorentina almost battled back straight away. 25 minutes in, Lorenzo Pellegrini, the former Rome midfielder, off the crossbar as it was still 1-0. Half an hour in though, early scare, woodwork rattle, we were still leading by 1. We were getting a lot of joy down the right hand side. Callum Hudson-Odoi always in behind the left back Grimaldo, should have got his second in the game there, somehow failed to hit the target as it was still 1-0. And in the second half again, whilst Fiorentina had hit the woodwork, we'd been the better team. I wanted that 2-goal cushion to give us some breathing room. Hudson-Odoi again attacking down the right side, finds Leon at Goretzka. Goretzka back to Hudson-Odoi, getting so much joy in behind Grimaldo, who was pushed up so high in this game, rolls it across, and there is Yuri Tielemans, one of the leaders in this team, the 29-year-old Belgian, makes it 2, gives us that cushion as we doubled our advantage 4 minutes after the restart. So this is exactly what I wanted from the first leg. I originally thought it was going to be in Florence, but instead of it coming at the San Siro, I wanted a big victory in the first leg to take back into the second in Tuscany, knowing we're in full control heading into the second leg. But instead, with 9 minutes to go in a game where, again, I played some really good football, looked great on the offensive end, probably should have been leading by 3 or 4. Fiorentina would get themselves back in the game, half the deficit, and make it 2-1. Whilst we held on for the win, that goal there could have major implications. As you can see by the stats, definitely deserved the win. We get it by 2-1. Callum, a great game in this one, a goal and an assist as well. Poor old Grimaldo, he was just getting ran ragged in this one. But even so, 2-1 the final score. And I've got to say, yes, we are indeed 90 minutes away from the Coppa Italia final. However, that goal there means that the tie is far from done. How we held on to the 2-0 victory, I head to Florence thinking, okay, we're fine. But instead, you just never know. Anyway, briefly on Fernandez, as you can see, his Corona rating to 84 overall, 28 years old in the prime of his career right now. 166 weeks, really. As you can see, training into a right wing back would be 79. So I abandoned the right back project and changed it to right wing back. Probably the right thing to do because, again, going forward with a high work rate, he's got bags of energy. 4 assists in 22 games this season for AC Milan in the right back role. I guess changing him to right wing back doesn't really make much of a difference because, as I mentioned before, now you can adjust the position of your players and you can adjust the role they're playing in. We can just knock him up 1 or 2 touches from right back to right wing back, and once I do that, that'll get rid of the exclamation marks. It'll be a natural right wing back, so it doesn't make much of a difference changing from right back to right wing back. But even so, even 70, I think it was 79, isn't it? Even 79 weeks. Why? Why is it going to take over a calendar year for him to become a right wing back when he's already excelling in his position now and has been all season long? EA, please, man, I'm begging you. Next season, it should not be, for certain situations like this, as difficult as it currently is. Still, following game, it was Genoa at the San Siro and a chance to extend our winning run and keep the pressure on Inter Milan heading into our battle with them at the San Siro. And what a great start in the first half. First, Yuri Tielemans has had a real redemption arc this season, making it 1-0, and then Roberto Gutierrez doubles our lead right before the break and makes it 2. Genoa really in this game didn't cause me any problems at all. I've been the far superior side. As Keane finds Tielemans here, we look for a third. This was a really nice goal as well. A couple of little flicks between Tielemans and Gutierrez. Who's there at the far post? It's Duarte, the young Portuguese winger we've got off the bench, who makes it 3-0 AC Milan. And again, with the game against Inter Milan right around the corner, I don't know if you guys are the same as me. When you're coming into one of the biggest games of the season, you want to win the one right before it big. You want a really big, convincing victory to give you motivation, to give you form, to get your players' morale good as well. And in this game, I was just absolutely dominating. 60 minutes to go. I think my mind was just like fully focused on the Inter Milan game. But knowing that this one came first, had to make sure I won it and won it big as well to really put the pressure on. Schneider off the bench makes it 4 with a cracking finisher. It's a German, drills it in to the far corner. AC Milan 4, Genoa 0, and exactly what we wanted heading in to that Milan derby that could well prove to be a potential title decider. Because heading into the game, I was talking about it earlier, chipping away at Inter Milan's lead at the top of the table. That win there cuts the gap to 3. And with our goal difference being better than Inter Milan, withdrawing the first fixture against them when we were the home team at the San Siro earlier on in the campaign, it means if we were to win this game as the away team at the San Siro, that would see us go top of the table in the Serie A for the first time this season. The stars had aligned, the game had come at the perfect time, our second Milan derby this season, and if we win it, AC Milan go top of the league. I mean, yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is this game was the biggest of the season so far. We've been chipping and chipping and chipping away at Inter Milan's lead, bit by bit, game by game, piece by piece, and here we are, a chance to go top at the expense of our rivals. So heading into the game, I wanted to be attack mode right from the very first whistle. We're the top scorers in Serie A right now. Our game is built on strong offense. We got the top scorer in the league. I wanted to go at them right from the first whistle. 90 minutes in, we had the first chance. Gutierrez chesting, volleying, but putting it just wide as it was still 0-0. But a couple minutes later, Inter looking for their first chance of the game. Victor Osimhen goes down the right-hand side, gets Ralphio Hernandez. Verratti finds Gomez, and a huge let-off as he fails to hit the target. Still 0-0, but both teams getting chances early. 34 minutes in, still tied, still goals. We see that Sandro Tonali goes for a duel in the air, goes down, hits the deck and stays down. So temporarily reduced to 10 men as Inter come on the offensive. Osimhen plays a couple of 1-2s with Gomez, and as Gomez rolls it through to Jude Bellingham, the former Dortmund man takes a touch, gives it back to Gomez, off to Osimhen, and Victor Osimhen gives Inter the lead with 10 minutes to go. And I was raging. Temporarily reduced to 10 men. They're well within their rights to do so, decided not to kick the ball out, carry on, and straight after the goal, I took Sandro Tonali off. It was clear he weren't going to be able to soldier on, so Goretzka comes on to replace him, but Inter Milan take advantage of us going a man down and get themselves the advantage. But right from kickoff, whilst I was frustrated about the first goal we conceded and a bit of bad luck, I just gifted Inter Milan a goal. And after a little deflection off Theo Hernandez's left boot, they get it straight back, and Victor Osimhen gets another. Drills it in to make it 2 after I brought Mike out, and Inter were 2-0 up at the San Siro. And after all of the weeks, after all of the games, undefeated, chipping away at the points deficit, getting back into the title race and being 1 win away from going top in the biggest game of the season, just couldn't handle the pressure. 2-0 down. First goal, really unfortunate. Second one, definitely my fault, no doubt about it. But you know what? 12 minutes after the restart, look, we come back from deficits like this before. There's no reason we can't do it again. I need my leaders to step up, though. So 12 minutes after the restart, this was really cool. It were 2 of our big team leaders getting the goal to get us back in the game. Yuri Tielemans, the Belgian, rolling it through. And who's there to half the deficit? It's Roberto Gutierrez. Leading by example, the captain gets us back in the game. But also, I look really good when going forward. Defensively, I just could not stop Inter Milan. They've got the best defensive record in the division. I thought they were going to play some watertight lockdown defense, but instead they gave us a taste of our own medicine. It wasn't their defense that saw them get the win in this one, it was their offense. Gomez restores the 2-goal cushion directly after we halved the deficit, and that was how the game would finish. Final score at the San Siro, and after a long stretch of over 20 games in all competitions undefeated, Inter Milan get the win in the second Milan derby of the season, which means they'll end up with a better head-to-head record than us and claim a huge 3 points to extend the gap to 6. A win, thankfully Tonali's injury, by the way, just 7 days. Had he had like a broken toe, that would have been like the misery compiler, as Spencer would say. But a win would have sent us top. Instead, 13 games to go. The gap extended to 6. Lazio cut the gap on us to 1 as well. Look, top 4 seems like an almost guaranteed thing to happen now. But the title race, well, we've been dealt a massive blow by Inter Milan. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Massive thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you haven't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.